Now, Freddie, it is interesting to hear him talking because he said he's not trying to get under Amir Khan's skin, that it's not about the way he talks himself into this fight. Is he telling us the truth there?
Partly. I mean, he is a good talker, and he speaks well, and they're doing everything they can to try to disrupt us. I mean, they brought Brutus Prescott to the press conference yesterday and put him on the undercard just so they try to get under his skin. I said our last fight ended in 1 round, and he was on the same show. That's not going to bother us. I said, it's, psychological warfare, whatever. They're trying everything they can, and they're going to need it.
Do you try and protect Amir from that, or is he sussed enough to work it out?
No, he's fine. I don't protect him from that because that's going to be with him for the rest of his life.
Freddie, most people are expecting Amir Khan to win this fight, but what dangers does Malignaggi bring to the contest for you?
He can make it really look bad with his movement, and that's something that we can't do. Coming to New York, being on HBO for the first time, the biggest cable station in America, and you need to be impressive with those guys, or you're not going to be back on. And it's plain and simple. So he needs to be impressive. And so the biggest threat, the biggest problem is that if he runs, and we don't cut the ring off and don't catch him and set those traps, we just follow him around and it just ends up being a boring fight. It's going to be win or lose. It's going to be bad for us.
Have you got confidence in Amir to work that out for himself, or is he going to need every time to come back to you at the end of every 3 minutes?
No, he knows. Ring generalship is something that I teach to all my fighters. My fighters know how to control the ring, how to make that ring smaller, how to cut the ring off. It's a lost art, but the thing is, my trainer Eddie Fudge was big on it. I'm big on it. If you can control that ring and keep yourself in good spots and keep him in bad spots all night long, you're going to win the fight, and that's what we're going to do.
Freddie, isn't there a danger that Amir and possibly even you are seriously underestimating how dangerous Malignaggi could be, especially later in the fight? He's a guy that likes 12 rounds. He goes 12 rounds. He's a survivor. I know that the record suggests he's a relatively light puncher, but as you know, Freddie, once you go past 6 or 7 rounds, there's no such thing as a light puncher when people get tired.
Very true, but the thing is, one thing about Paulie, he's been in with great fighters, but how many rounds has he really won with those great fighters? I didn't give him a round with Cotto. I didn't give him a round with Hatton. Just surviving is just not enough for me. I mean, okay. Show me something and win some rounds, then I'll respect you a little bit more. But the thing is, Amir is just, I feel too fast, too strong. Everything Paulie does, we can do better. And the thing is, we're going to pressure him. We're going to cut the ring off very smartly. Our presence is going to be right in front of him, not attacking it at all times, but wherever he goes, we're going to cut the ring off and stay with him and stay with him. He's going to say I can't get rid of this guy, because we're going to be right in front of him all night long.
And you were saying to me in your 4 fights together with Amir Khan that he hasn't lost a round, let alone a fight. When that time does come, as he moves up in grade, and it will do, has he got the stomach to dig? Maybe you don't really know that about any fighter, but you get a sense for sure.
I have a sense that he does. He's a great athlete. He had a lot of amateur background, a lot of Olympic silver medalists. I mean, he's been in tough spots before, and he knows how to work through them. But in 12-round world title fights, of course, is a little tougher. And with the guys that are out there right now, there's some very, very good talent out there. But I think Amir will rise to the occasion, and he's very mature for a 22-year-old. He really is, and he's really learned how to cut the ring off and be smart and keep himself in good positions.
Well, a big night then tomorrow in the career of Amir Khan in New York. British fighters have generally had mixed fortunes crossing the Atlantic.
People at ringside are urging Kelly to get to his feet. Can he do so? And it's been stopped. And Hamed in the United States for the first time has won a fight.
DeWitt was down 3 times in the round, and all of a sudden, hey presto, Britain's Nigel Benn was world middleweight champion.
Nice right hand again from Calzaghe and from Hopkins in reply. Collazo opens up again, a right hook, a big left hand, and another left hand, and Hatton is in big trouble.
And has Lennox Lewis punched himself out? This is again a remarkable turnaround from Tucker, and there isn't a person in this auditorium who isn't standing up, I can tell you.
He's hurt Tyson, and Tyson knows it and he's going for him. Get in there, Frank.
Great commentary from Harry Carpenter. A bit early probably to say how Amir Khan will be received. Steve, what do you think it'll take for the American fans to like him?
Well, you know what it'll take? It'll take a little bit of shutting up Paulie Malignaggi, because for as many fans as Paulie Malignaggi's got in Brooklyn in the Italian community, he's got a lot of people that go, oh no, not Paulie again. Shut up, Paulie. So Amir Khan can do that. I think the venue's the right venue. There was a little bit of trickeration, as Don King would say, in the pre-publicity for this fight. The suggestion it was in the whole Madison Square Garden, when we know it's in the basement or the felt form, as some of us older people like to call it. Okay, there's 5,000 in there. That's a great start. You get HBO exposure, and if you win comfortably with good pressure, sensible pressure, Freddie's a genius like that. That's good. If you stop him, that's a really good win. That's what you've got to do. It's quite simple. To be a popular fighter, you've got to win, and you've got to win in decent, exciting fashion. There's no mystery to being successful in boxing, Ellie. It's that simple.
And I tell you what, Amir's got to his advantage that some of those others we've just been hearing didn't have, and that is he's been here now for the best part of a couple of years, coming over at regular intervals to train here. So he's more used to the culture, to getting used to the time zones and all that sort of thing, which can be a real culture shock the first time you come to fight here. So that's less of a problem for him than it would have been for others.
Richie, you fought in the States, didn't you? Was it a good experience for you?
It was a very painful experience for me, to be quite honest. It wasn't very good at all. I think, although I had some good times with Mickey Duffy, who was my manager at the time, this was a bad experience for us, and I think even he was very, very surprised with how hostile the place was. It was Washington, we was in Maryland, Washington. I fought Keith Holmes, and certainly, I was stopped in the 12th round. I was behind anyway, but the build-up to the fight, a taxi journey that was meant to take 20 minutes taking 2 hours, losing my medical forms, people banging on my door at 4 o'clock in the morning, phone calls. It was like a Rocky film, and it really opened my eyes up to boxing, and I think it did Mickey Duff, even though he was coming to the end of his career. So yeah, it wasn't a very nice place, I have to say.
You're going to be knocking on Malignaggi's door, Freddie, at 4 in the morning.
I've never been to Brooklyn, so I don't think so.
Mike, if I could just say, to big up my pal there from Telford, he had an operation on his elbow about 3 weeks before the fight, and he should have pulled out, but that was back in the days when you were the number one contender. If you didn't take your chance as the mandatory, you went back to the bottom of the line. He'd been waiting 2.5 years. It was just bad luck. Richie Woodall on his day, and I'm saying this because I love him dearly, Richie Woodall on his day would have beaten Keith Holmes. Richie Woodall with two working elbows, even fighting Keith Holmes in Keith Holmes' backyard would have beaten Keith Holmes.
Stevie, I need a new agent.
Thanks.
Any chance, mate?
I'm available, kid. I'm available.
Thank you.
We had a great line from Richie this morning, Steve. There was a program here last night. I was talking right at the start of the show about this strong local sporting culture here, and there's a lot of talk about a basketball player called LeBron James might be coming to play for the New York Knicks, or they certainly want him to. Yeah. And last night, one of the sports programs here began with "The whole world is talking about LeBron James," and of course Richie said they're not in Telford.
And let Richie know they're not in other parts of the Black Country either, son.
Freddie, I mean, if I can ask you the question that we asked Steve at the top of this, what will it take, do you think, for Amir Khan to be popular with American fight fans?
To be explosive, knock people out. My charge Manny Pacquiao, that's why they love him, because he knocks people out. And one thing about boxing, it's great to put on a great boxing match, but to finish with a knockout in fashion is what people want to see.